go. What up? What up? Whew, I was asleep. I'm up now. Back on the attack. Come on in. Today is February 2nd, 2026. Yep. Come on in. We got to talk about a very important topic. Very important. If you snooze, you lose. Come on in. Real estate. Real estate, folks. Got to get your hands on some. Got to get your hands on some real estate, especially if you're melanated. This stream is particularly for my black folks. All my black brothers and sisters, come on in, climb on in. Let's get into this knowledge. Why would you want to buy real estate? Well, a few reasons why. You would want to buy real estate. Let me turn my light. There we go. Few reasons why you want to get your hands on some property. Whether it be land, okay, we got, what kind of real estate do we have? We got land, we got commercial, we got residential, we got industrial. My niche, my expertise is in residential. It's all across America. If you live in America, you live in a house or you live in an apartment building or a condo. Hopefully you're in a condo. Okay. You're either in a condo, you're in a townhouse. All right. What types of residential? You got condos. Okay, you got condos, got townhouses, you got single family houses, you got multi-family properties. Multi-family is considered 1 unit to 4 units. This is just basic stuff, right? Now, real estate is like the double-edged sword. Yeah. Real estate is like a double-edged sword. What do I mean by that? Well, if you own some, if you can get your hands on some, it can do a lot of things for you. Let's talk about primary residence first. Come on in. My stream was lagging. Come on in, hit that like button if you're new, subscribe. How you doing? What's up, Baron? What's up, weirdo Janine? Yeah, my stream was lagging. How y'all doing? So your primary resident can do a lot of things for you. What up? Come on in. How you doing, Bonnie? We're talking about real estate. Why people, especially my black folks, should buy real estate. So your primary residence, where you lay your head at, where you live at, where you dwell at. This is like a double-edged sword. Why? Well, for one, you get to live there. You get to live there. You get to get all the benefits of living there. Okay? You could raise your kids there. You could live there forever, right? Everyone hit that like button, thank you. Hit that like button, thank you. Climb on in, hit that like button, thank you. Hit that like button, climb on in. Yes, we're talking real estate. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe for your boy C Dizzle, Uncle C. So your primary residence, you buy it. Okay, how can you buy it? You put down 3.5%, that's through FHA. You can go conventional, put down 5, 10, 20%. The best route for the common America is 3.5% down. Come on in, hi. Get out of here, bro. Stop spamming. Don't spam in my chat. Get out. Hit the double tap y'all screen for the algorithm. Thank y'all. So back to what I was saying. You can put down 3.5%. Okay. And you can use this as your primary dwelling. Now, every state is different as far as property taxes. Here in Florida, we got homestead exemption. Homestead exemption gives you a deduction on your property taxes, right? Cool. Now, you can write off your interest payments. Yeah, so it's a tax benefit. We're talking strictly residential. We even talk about investments yet. Hit that like button, please, and subscribe, please. You can write off your interest that you pay. You can cost segregation. You can depreciate your property, okay? You can finagle your amount of money that you owe Uncle Sam. Thank y'all for the likes, okay? So that's the benefits of, having a residential property, whether it's a condo, whether it's a townhouse, whether it's a single family house, whether you buy a multi-family house, whatever. Even a mobile home. How you doing? Brax, what's up? Hit that like button. Now, let's talk about more benefits of owning real estate. If you buy real estate, traditionally, year over year, in America, traditionally, real estate appreciates. That means it goes up in value. It goes up in value from 3 to 7%. Traditionally, year over year in America, no matter where you at, Idaho, Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, California, Texas, New York, wherever, your property will appreciate. Stop spamming. Stop spamming in my chat. Okay? If you got a question, don't hesitate to ask C Dizzle. If you have a question, don't hesitate to ask C Dizzle. I'm a real estate investor, okay? I do this for a living. This is my expertise. I'm an expert. I consider myself an expert, okay? I know a lot. I've been doing this business 11 years. Started out as a realtor, then I crossed over to the investment world, okay? We'll talk about that later. So yeah, back to the benefits of owning your primary home. What's your primary home? Where you live at. Okay, the benefits of owning your primary home. Tax benefits. You get to live there. Appreciation. Real estate saturated in some parts of the country. Depends on what market you in, J-Ma. Hit that like button, subscribe. Okay, it's gonna appreciate. So let me give you an example. Let me give you a real life example. 2018, around there, 2018, I was a realtor. I was a broker. I was operating as a broker in the state of Florida. At the time, I had a partner. Me and my partner went to this family's house to do a listing presentation. They wanted us to list their property for sale. Cool, right? We ran this little fancy thing called a CMA, and it was called a seller's net sheet, based on what they owe the bank, right? So we went there, we did this fancy presentation with the husband and the wife. We presented them with the CMA, so we showed them, hey, on the paper, we showed them, hey, here's what your house is worth. Okay, then we showed them the net sheet, based on what they told us they owed on the property. Mind you, they did not know they were going to get a profit, let alone the profit we told them they were going to get. At that time, this couple owed, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000. They owed $30,000-$40,000 to the bank on their original mortgage. They bought the house like 5, 6, 7 years prior, maybe even earlier than that. But nonetheless, they owed like $20,000-$30,000. And at the time, I think the house was worth $200,000, give or take, or $180,000. We showed them they were going to walk away with like $110,000, $120,000. When they got this information, when we handed this husband and wife couple this sheet of paper, showing them what they were going to walk away with, their net proceeds, they literally started crying. I'm going to let that simmer. They literally started to cry in the living room. They didn't know their property appreciated. Folks, this is why real estate is the #1 investment in the world. This is for the average Joe, the average Jane in America, real estate is your biggest purchase of your life. Mind you, this couple had been living there 6, 7 years. They had like one child, I think, two. They had no idea this was coming. They wanted to relocate to another state. That's one of the magnificent benefits of real estate. Appreciation. Okay? So, you buy a home. Even if you put down 3.5%, you put down 5%, 10%, cool. Don't worry about the interest rate. I know interest rates are okay right now, 6%. If you can buy, I would recommend, if you can pull it off, if you can do it, if you have the means to do it, buy a single family home. Typically, single family homes appreciate more. Typically, all right? Single family homes appreciate more. Yes, what's up, Michael? Typically. Now, you could get the same benefits, you could get the same luxuries from appreciation and tax benefits from a condo, a townhouse, a villa, all that good stuff, land. No, so Yeshua asks, do you end up having to pay a lot in taxes when tax time comes? No, so you don't pay your taxes at once. Your taxes are what they call escrow, which is essentially included into your mortgage. So hypothetically, let's say, here, let's do this. I'm visual. Let's do this. I'm visual. Let's do this, folks. I'm visual. Everybody visual in this chat? Hit the like button, subscribe. Got my handy dandy calculator. Okay. Okay, let's hypothetically say your property taxes are $1,000 for the year. You would pay that monthly escrowed into your mortgage. So you would divide that by 12. Okay? That would be your monthly tax bill, $83.33. Now, that's included in your principal and interest on top of your mortgage payment. Same thing, your mortgage payments are escrowed as well. Okay, so that's how that works. You got principal, interest, what they call PITI. TI is the taxes and insurance. Okay, so like I was saying, the magnificent benefit of owning real estate, your primary residence, you can sell it one day for a profit. Now let's talk about what else can you do. What else can you do with your primary residence? You can house hack. House hacking. What's house hacking? You could do it with a single family or multifamily. What does it mean? You buy a property. If you buy a single family house, you live in one room, you rent out the other rooms. You rent out 2 of the rooms, $500 a month. You collect $1,000 a month in cash flow. Cash flow, okay? Or you buy a duplex. You buy a duplex, you buy a triplex, a 4 unit. You can go up to 4 units with an FHA, 3% down, okay? You house hack. You live in 1 unit. You rent out the other units. It's income and it can go towards your mortgage payment. This is they call it house hacking. This is how you scale your rental portfolio or your investments. Don't know what you're talking about. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. C-Bills will be talking why you should own real estate, especially my black folks. I'm smart. Yeah, house hacking. House hacking. Oh, we got a white supremacist, y'all. Hold on. Let me get rid of him. You can donate to the channel, by the way. You can donate to the channel. You can send a super chat or a gift. Thank you. How do you buy if housing market is high? Where I am, you can't get anything lower than 300,000. Well, that's everywhere, brother. Like I just said, Yeshua the way. Don't worry about prices. Don't worry about interest rates. If you can't afford it, say you can't afford the market, right? Let's say you make $15 an hour. You make $10 an hour. I hope you don't make $10 an hour. Let's say you got a low income. You're going to have to save your money for a long time. You might have to relocate. Yeshua. Black man not playing music in the background. Get out of here. People are so racist. Dang, people are so racist. Hit the like button. Thank you for coming in and tuning in tonight. Why black people should buy real estate, okay? Now, this brother said what to do when you don't have the money. If you can't afford it, you have to relocate. If you know for a fact your income is not gonna go up at all, your income, you stuck, your income is where it is, you're gonna have to move, or you're gonna have to get a second job, or you're gonna have to get a higher paying job. I want to turn my house into a rental, but buy and move. I'm looking for 500,000. Okay, so you already own a house. There you go. That was my next point, my next topic. So now that you own the property, right? Let's say you buy a property like this brother here. You control the property. You're on the deed. You control it. What you can do, like this brother just suggested, you can buy another house, go live somewhere else. You don't have to necessarily buy a house. You go rent somewhere else. You go move in with your mom, your grandma, your cousin, your brother. And you can rent out your house. Now, the numbers have to make sense. For instance, if your mortgage, taxes, and insurance are $1,500 a month, and you only can rent the house for $1,300, you can't do that. You'll be negative. So you have to make sure your house, bears the rental, the market. I'm sorry, it demands that area, wherever your house is at. The rental market price demands a price where you can make a profit every month. South Park, what it do? What's up, brother? Come on in, hit that like button for you, boy. This is What's Wrong with Society. This man spreading valuable knowledge, has 2 viewers. Some idiot in the bathroom smoking weed pen. Okay. Whatever. Y'all could have all y'all opinions. Don't care. I'm here to give the sauce. I'm here to get the sauce. So yeah, you can rent out your house. And guess what? Once you rent out your house, okay, what's going on? Come on in. Hello. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Once you rent out your house, now you have 2 houses. Okay? There's a lot you can do, folks. I'm just giving like the bare minimum, the basics. I'm giving the bare minimum basics. We're going to talk about investing more down the line, but right now I'm just talking about what you can do with your primary residence. You get house hack. You get tax benefits. Okay? You get appreciation is number 1. Appreciation, folks. You buy a house, you live in it for 10 years, you bought it for 100,000. 10 years later, it's worth 200,000. That's the name of the game. Guess what? You, as a single person, you are tax-free on those capital gains. You're tax-free. Up to $250,000. As a married couple, tax-free on the capital gains up to $500,000. Okay? Come on in. Folks, you literally cannot lose in real estate. I know that seems far-fetched. You literally cannot lose. One way or the other, right? Oh, y'all. You literally can't lose in real estate. You literally can't lose, man. All right, so let's talk about other benefits. You got the appreciation, you renting it. Now, here's some other benefits. What? There's more? Wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. But wait, there's more. Yes, there's more. You can do something called a HELOC, okay? Now, what's a HELOC? What's a refinance? This is when you tap into the equity. Tap into the equity. What's equity? Okay, it's very simple. What is equity? Value of the property, let's say 200,000, minus the debt that's owed, let's say 100,000. You have $100,000 in equity. You can tap into that. Now, a lot of folks over these last 3 to 4 years got into a high interest rate. You got into a 7. Some people got into 8s. You could refinance out of that. Right now, rates are starting to drop, but hypothetically, let's say rates were at 5. You can get out of that 7.5 interest rate. You can get out. You can refinance. Or let's say you want to start a business. I don't recommend this. Let's say you want to start a business. You got $100,000 in equity. You go down to your credit union, you go to the bank, you go somewhere, and you pull out a HELOC. Your credit card is literally like your credit card. Your house is literally like a credit card, folks. Real estate gets real gangster. It gets very gangster. Very gangster. Hit that like button, subscribe. Monday Night Lights. Money Making Monday, y'all. How was y'all Monday? Hopefully you made some money today. I was in the office working as usual, getting to the bag, trying to build up my brand, scale my real estate portfolio, all that good stuff. Come on in and subscribe. If you're new to my channel, I want you to subscribe. Listen, I don't want you to subscribe. I need you to subscribe. Yeah, it's the difference. Because on this channel, we're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk everything. We're going to talk why you need to get real estate, why real estate is the #1 investment, okay? We're talking about primary residence. I still have more to deep dive on owning your home versus renting. Owning your home versus renting. We're about to talk about that next. Okay, we're going to talk about that next. Owning versus renting. When to buy, when to rent. When to buy, when to rent. That's not Webster. That's Wolf of Wall Street. That's Wolf of Wall Street. All right, so on this channel, you get a lot of information. You get a lot of knowledge. I'm going to be very informative on this channel. So if you subscribe, you'll be up on game. You'll be up on game. You follow me? Right now, I have about 800 videos, I think, total. I have 800 videos on my channel. A lot of them are political, but the majority of those videos are real estate. So I'm going to double down, triple down on the real estate. Now, when should you own? When should you rent? When should you own? When should you rent? Well, it depends on you. Yeah. 1 second, y'all. It depends on you. When you're ready. Right? A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're going to hear a lot of gurus. And let me give a disclaimer. There's a lot of fake gurus out there. There's a lot of fake gurus on the internet, y'all. A lot of gurus are going to claim, oh, it's cheaper to rent versus buying a house. But you got to look at the long term. Real estate is long term, folks. Real estate is long term. KB says buy a couple acres, put 10 single wide trailers on it. There you go. Got your own trailer park, huh? Yeah. Now, you're going to hear gurus, like I was saying, you're going to hear gurus say, oh, it's cheaper to rent. Now, I'm not against renting. If it makes sense for you to rent, to fall back, it depends on, really your age, where you at in life, if you're married, if you got kids, where you at in your career, what's your income. Those are like the determining factors on whether you should rent or not, honestly. If you're a young guy and you're like 22, and you just got your degree from college, or you just got out of the military, whatever, I would say save some money. But it's never listen, y'all, it's never a bad time to buy. Do I own properties? Yes, I'm a real estate investor, KB. Subscribe, by the way. Hit the like button, KB. Thank you for your dialogue, your input. Yeah, I'm a real estate investor, brother. I have a rental portfolio. I'm a house flipper, landlord, all that good stuff. Come on in. Get out of here. Caprello, what's up, man? How about, boy, Caprello, boy, I got that quick trigger on you. But we talking real estate tonight. So, yeah, like I was saying, it's never a bad time to buy. Like I just gave the example, 404 in the building. Shout out to the ATL. What's up, David? Subscribe. Come on in. I'm giving out this good sauce, good knowledge. Let's say you bought a house 2 years ago, 3 years, 2023. 2023, interest rates were at the highest. They were at the peak, they were at 8%. 8%. Let's say you bought a house 3 years ago at 8%. Guess what? One thing about real estate, it might go like this, then it'll flatline, then it might come down some. It's not like stock market is like this. This is the stock market. That's the stock market. Real estate's more like this. Up, flatline, up, flatline. We've only really had like 2 crashes in real estate. The 08 crash and the Great Depression. That's when real estate was like, you know, pennies on the dollar. But nonetheless, let me not go down that rabbit hole, right? So 08, interest rates were up. Guess what? They came down. They're stabilizing. They're predicting by the end of the year, we should be in the 5 somewhere, 5.75. If you have an 8% interest rate, you can refinance. Right now, you can go get a 6. If you got a 750 credit score, go get a 6% interest rate. Listen, like I said, you cannot really lose in real estate. Your property is still appreciating. You're still buying or paying down the debt. Okay? Don Lemon, yeah, we're not talking politics tonight. When I was 19, I inherited 4 duplexes. Oh, brother, blessings to you. It's been a nightmare, I bet. At 19? Woo, KB, bless your heart, brother. I know what it's like to manage rentals. I can only imagine at 19, dog. I can only imagine how that was. It's been great money, though. Like you said, I'm going to pin your comment. Hey, KB, you still own those properties today? I don't know how old you are now, KB, but if you still own those properties today, even if they had a mortgage, even better if they free and clear, my brother, you are a millionaire. Come on, KB, give me some more information. That is something, bro. Salute to KB, man. Salute to KB, that brother, and you, man. How did you inherit those? From your parents, grandparents? I'm curious. I'm curious now, KB. Give me some more. Give me some more of the story, bro. I'm curious, man. Listen, I have 2 duplexes. I had 3 duplexes. One of them were in a bad area. I had too much tenant turnover. I liquidated it last year. I sold it. I was cash flowing like $850 a month. It really didn't appreciate. I bought it, below market value. So I won, but the headache wasn't worth it, though. I liquidated, man. But KB, man, that's what's up, bro. Our brother say he inherited 4 duplexes at 19. Shazam. From your father. Oh, your father did great. Any mortgages? Are they paid off? How long ago was that, man? Even if it was 5 years ago, man, you winning. North Florida outside of Tallahassee. Shout out to you. You're a Florida boy. Shout out to the Florida boys, man. Florida boys run the world, by the way. So we talked about a lot on this stream. I want y'all to share my video. Help me grow. Share my video. We talked about residential property. I'll probably do a stream later this week on investments, why you should buy investment properties and rentals. I want y'all to subscribe and come back, hit the notification bell, subscribe and come back. But on this stream, we talked about residential. Why you should own your residential property, especially if you're a black person. This is like your only vehicle towards generational wealth. This right here, Exhibit A, KB. KB right there. He inherited wealth, y'all. Now, it was a headache. I bet you KB went through hell and back. He had to evict people. He probably had to pay for repairs. He had to pay for lawn maintenance, pay for utilities, all that. It was probably a nightmare for that brother, but it probably took KB years to get it stabilized, but he's winning. He's winning. KB's winning at life right now, y'all. Them four duplexes probably been matured. They didn't matured. They didn't appreciate it. And they probably paying for KB's lifestyle. Okay? It's possible, y'all. I live off some of my cash flow. Some of my cash flow pays for my lifestyle. That's right, folks. So we're gonna continue this conversation. I'll probably come back with why you gotta buy like rentals, investment properties. We'll probably talk about that either Thursday or Friday. Never give up. That's right, Royale. What you say? Oh, my bad. Yoli, never give up. Hit that like and subscribe. Again, I want y'all to come back later this week, but tonight we're talking primary residential real estate. Is there anything that I missed? Let me think before I bounce. Did I miss anything? Renting versus buying, tax benefits, appreciation, cash flow. Oh, we talked about house hacking. Now, here's another one. And this is going to prelude to my next stream. Right now, y'all, it's a buyer's market. You can get a deal. You can get a deal. Let's say, like this brother earlier in the stream was saying, he don't have the money. Well, in this market, you can get a seller to pay all your closing costs. You can get a huge discount right now. You can get huge discounts right now in real estate. In a buyer's market, in this market, y'all, subscribe, by the way, subscribe. In this market, you can get a bargain. You can't do that in the stock market. You can't do that with stocks. So for instance, right now, it's a buyer's market, right? It's a buyer's market. What does that mean? There's a house listed for $300,000. It's been sitting stale on the MLS. It's been sitting stale and dry for sale for 4 months. Here you come along with your 3.5% FHA. Here you come along with your qualifications. You say, Mr. Seller, I got $320,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say $320,000? I meant to say I have $220,000, Mr. Seller. Will you accept? And by the way, you're gonna pay concessions. You're gonna pay my closing costs. So you buy it under market value. So you got instant equity, and you come out the pocket less. Buying a bargain, buying a bargain on your residential property is a cheat code, folks. It's a cheat code, all right? So C Dizzle, remember, subscribe, share the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm giving out the sauce. Okay, I will be back. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.